faculty. I'd like to introduce Dr. Melinda Leonard, who has done some wonderful work in Ireland, specifically Northern Ireland, since 1995. She takes students and not only as part of education but research, and she has some compelling information about what the current status of that peace accord in Northern Ireland is. Dr. Leonard.
Thank you all for staying and listening. I am Dr. Leonard, and I'm very happy to be at the University of Louisville, where I can actually share something that I am personally passionate about. I believe that sometimes we get, I don't know the word exactly, but we get some sort of idea, and from that idea, it actually becomes our passion and our mission. And this is one of the things that I believe I'm missioned to do. And that, first of all, is to teach students, and also my love of research. So I'm doing something very unique, I believe, especially here at the university. As I know it, I'm the only one on this campus that actually is able to bring together both research components of educating students as well as the pedagogy of actually educating students. So this is a course that I've designed. It's into its third year. I've actually conducted this program at another university prior to my life here at U of L, but we're now into the third year. So let me just get started and tell you a little bit about this program. It's the International Service Learning and Research Program, and it is specific to Northern Ireland. And each year I select a group of 12 undergraduate students to travel with me to Northern Ireland as part of my research team. We actually collect data while we're there. So I don't know if everybody's familiar with Northern Ireland, but a lot of the students that I interview for the application process don't even know that Northern Ireland is actually a separate country. When you talk about Ireland, we think about the entire Isle of Ireland, okay? The whole thing. But actually, Northern Ireland is not a part of the Republic of Ireland. It is actually a part of the United Kingdom, and it falls under the British Crown. So this is something very new to the students. Oftentimes, they don't know this. And so what I try to do is to provide them with a background knowledge to help them understand what's going on and what's been going on there for centuries. As we know in the field of psychology, which I am an assistant professor in the Department of Psychological and Brain Sciences, a lot of our social and cognitive information that we learn is based on transmission from generation to generation. And because this is a conflict that has been going on since the 1600s, okay, we definitely can understand how this information gets transmitted from generation to generation. So what I do with this course is I actually start with the Troubles. This was a period in the 60s, very similar to our civil rights movement with Martin Luther King and the black and white issues that were going on in the United States, and at about that same time. Well, as a result of the issues in the United States, Northern Ireland decided that they too wanted to bring forth these peaceful marches to bring attention to what they felt was unsatisfactory in their community, and that was internment without due process. So they decided on this day in January 1972 to hold a peaceful march, just coming together as a community saying that they didn't think this was right. Well, we all probably have heard about Bloody Sunday, and bottom line here was in this event, Bloody Sunday, there were many people killed, many people injured, and it caused this entire community within Northern Ireland to really continue to hold a lot of animosity toward each other. It became very violent, very scary, the bottom line, and a lot of children were impacted as well. So Bloody Sunday is where I take off for this group of students as far as their history lesson. From Bloody Sunday, of course, lots of conversation, lots of problems, lots of issues that were being dealt with. And again, the violence was just very, very powerful. But because of a lot of people and their concern with peace and their concern and their action toward bringing groups together, they were able to come up with what they called the Good Friday Agreement, the Belfast Agreement, the Stormont Agreement, a number of names. But the bottom line was that this was a peace agreement, okay? So in 1998, this was signed in Belfast on April 10th, 1998. Wow, isn't this great? We've signed a piece of paper, now we have peace, right? It's in writing. We have peace, right? No, okay? No, we don't. Notice, August 15th, 1998, just a few months after the signing of the peace accord in Omaha, 29 people were killed. Okay? 3 of these people were a mother and her 2 unborn twins. 2 were children that came over from Spain for a holiday with their class and their teacher. Very unexpected, very powerful bomb went off in the city center. Through this and my travels and my experiences over there, I've been able to actually meet and continue to be friends with a family that their daughter was blinded. Okay? She was blinded at the age of 15. Fortunately, she had the inner strength and the inner drive to move past this, and she graduated from Queen's University with a degree in music. She's now married. She also has 2 small children. So she's doing very well. Also, as a result of this, her sister has been a member of the Waterford Omaha Peace Choir, and they travel around the world coming together, Catholics and Protestants, spreading their idea that, hey, our communities need to forgive. We won't forget, but we need to forgive. We need to start building trust, and we need to move on. Okay? Peace. Do we call that peace? No, we don't. So, what's it like today? Well, every July 12th, since 1600s, 1690 to be exact, we have the Orangeman's Day. Bonfires, riots, parades, it's not a pretty sight. This still goes on. You can see this massive size of what they refer to as fires, bonfires, okay? Problems that exist in this community and continue to exist, even though the community says we don't want this anymore. We should not be remembering this event back from 1690. Let's let go of the past. Let's move forward. But we still have it. There's still a need in certain community circles that they need to continue to express themselves. Policeman was killed just prior to our trip. We always go every May, just prior to our trip, not this May, but the previous May in 2011. Car bombing, 25-year-old police officer was targeted. This is 2011, okay, that this occurred. The peace accord was signed in 1998. Where's the peace? Why isn't there peace? Also, September the 2nd, 2012, just weeks ago, 2 bombs were defused in Derry, Londonderry. And I put this up here, Derry, Londonderry, to just show you the tumultuous atmosphere, the tumultuous expression that's going on, even about the names of their city. If you're Catholic, this city is called Derry. It's the 2nd largest city in Northern Ireland. If you're Protestant, you refer to the city as Londonderry. And if you're not really certain how to respond or what to call the city, you call it Stroke City, based on this little thing right there, okay? Stroke. 2012, 14 years after the signing of the peace accord. Belfast, peace walls. The Berlin Wall comes down. We're all excited, Germany, East and West, now united. In Belfast, though, peace walls go up, and they continue to go up in the communities that separate Catholic and Protestants. More and more, higher and higher, okay? First it was that level, and then it went up another level, and now it's clear up here with fencing. People stand on one side or the other, they throw petrol bombs over, they throw stones, they throw whatever they can throw. Okay? This is going on in today's world. Peace walls. Isn't it funny they call it peace? Right? This is actually, these pictures, some of these pictures represent my students. This is what we're experiencing while we're traveling. Is peace and reconciliation possible in Northern Ireland? We all are very hopeful. I don't have any real personal ties there. My heritage does not come from there, but I've been involved with this topic since the early 1990s, and I'll continue to follow it until my dying days, because I'm very, very passionate about it. And it's not about being Catholic or Protestant. It's not about two communities that are fighting. It's about world understanding. It's about cultural understanding. And that cultural understanding is very powerful and something that I believe is very critical for student education. Students need to be aware that there's something more going on in the world than what they hear on the news. Right? They need to understand that we live in a society in the United States that's very different. Even though this is an English-speaking country, they still have major issues that they're still trying to work with. So is peace and reconciliation possible? Well, the answer is yes, and they have made great strides. The violence has been reduced. It's still there. We still have paramilitary, they still have paramilitary organizations that still are active, and there's still threats. But there's been a universal effort in Northern Ireland to bring these communities together. Bringing the Catholic and Protestants together is a very powerful experience. Gordon Allport wrote, as far as intergroup contact, that if we can get people of diversity together, that would make a difference, that we can start talking to each other, we can start communicating with each other, we can start understanding each other. So in Northern Ireland, the research that we do is we're actually looking at cross-community organizations, and the one that I've been focusing on the last couple of years is the Ulster Project. They bring adolescents between the ages of 14 to 17 to the United States during July, specifically to avoid that month when the Orangemen parades and riots and bonfires are going on. Taking these adolescents out of that volatile situation and bringing them to a safe place where they can come together and communicate with one another about peace, about conflict resolution, about learning mediation. So this is where we start. These organizations, this one in particular, has been around since the 1970s, the late 70s. Okay, so it's been around a long time, and it's touched over 3,000 young people. It's a wonderful organization. One thing that we do while we're traveling with my students is we go to the Corrymeela community. This is actually a Peace and Reconciliation Center, and we spend several days here. We learn different skills, and it's through doing that we learn. And I think that's important too. I think that students get such a much powerful and richer learning experience when they can actually experience something different. okay? And this is a center that we can do that in. We do team building. And this is my group where we're doing team building. We're learning how to talk and communicate with one another and getting a goal accomplished, right? We also do art therapy, where we learn how, through the process of creating something, that it's actually a very healing process. And doing it in a way that we're mixing groups, that they can talk while they're working. All right, art therapy is very powerful. It works with adults, as you can see, these are my students, but it also works with young people, so it can be something that can be used in a wide range of ages. Our art therapy also includes, I hope all of you noticed that outside of the auditorium, the handprints. As we were collecting research, we collected research from 6 different cities this past May. And after we provided the survey to everybody that was there, we asked the students to be a part of International Peace Day by giving us a handprint and then decorating their handprint to reflect their personality. And we shared with them that this would be, we would put this together and that this would be a part of this International Peace Day. They were thrilled. They were excited. We're 15-year-olds, okay? Now, some of them weren't thrilled. You know, some of them really weren't excited. But they did it anyway. What you see out there is just a very, very small sampling of the many hands that we collected. If I were to have posted them all, it would have covered the whole wall. Okay, so I couldn't do that, but we just kind of chose what we came out. I mean, we just kind of threw them up, took them, and that's it. So these young people had an opportunity, Catholics and Protestants, in the same room at the same time, working for a common goal. Okay, that's what cross-community involvement is all about. Well, this particular statue is called Hands Across the Divide. It's in Londonderry in Northern Ireland, right? And I have to tell a story real quick. Derry, I always refer to Derry when I'm emailing back and forth to Northern Ireland, getting my travel schedule along. It's not that it was that I'm Catholic or that anything like that. It was just that Derry's shorter to type, okay? Well, I quickly was told by an individual that I needed to change the way that I was referring because I was not being inclusive. And being the instructor of this type of a program, it really kind of smacked me in the head with, ooh, yeah, I guess I didn't think about that, okay? It didn't cross my mind. So now I'm much more aware of how to refer to individuals from certain areas. Well, this statue is Hands Across the Divide, and it basically represents the two communities coming together. It was an artist's rendition of what can we hope for our future. So Hands Across the Divide allows us to think about what we can do as students when they come back to the United States, all right? So what I hope for my students when they return, after spending 2 weeks traveling around Northern Ireland and understanding and learning about the culture, they also take a semester before we depart to learn about this, so they're prepared to go. What I hope for them is that when they come back to the United States, that they can take the information that they've seen, they've experienced, and that they've learned, and that they can actually apply it to their own personal lives. They can apply it to their family relationships, and then they can extend it out into their own communities. Because it's through the educational process that we develop as individuals, that we can develop our relationships between one another, and that we can make a stronger, more peaceful community. So this is my mission, this is my goal, and I'm just really happy to be able to offer this to students. And actually I want to recognize a couple of the students that have actually been on the trip. Sam Young, if you'll stand up, Sam. Sam went in 2011, and Sam also was an honor student, and we were able to work out an internship where she stayed for 3 weeks to do an internship at Queen's University in Belfast. So she's been able to experience that. And then James Sims, he just went in May. So I was really glad to have him. He was my rock. I called James my rock while we went. So the students, I believe, get a really good educational experience, and it's just warming for me to be able to experience this whole situation with them. Yes, any questions or anything? Yeah, oh, Lauren, I didn't see Lauren. And Miss Lauren Kearns. Lauren Kearns, I didn't see you, Lauren, sorry. I thought maybe I was looking around trying to find. Lauren went in May as well with James's group. Lauren is also my honor student this year. She's doing her honors thesis on the data that we collected in May. So her poster is out there as well. So does anybody have any quick questions? Yes, ma'am.
Just a comment. There was a day for
Bloody Monday. Yes.
Against the Irish and German community who were Catholics. And there were more than 200 people dead.
Yeah.
That was at the end of the 19th century.
Yeah.
And then after September 11, some of the Middle Eastern restaurants in town were vandalized. People stopped going to them. They had to close one of them. And so
Yeah.
that was the stuff. And they say that here in this country people have bad memory and don't learn from the past.
It's true.
I want to just jump in. We're near the end of the day. I know there are a couple more hands, but I'll just tell you what's ahead. We have one more formal presentation and a wrap-up. And folks who want to talk to Dr. Leonard and about the next panel that's coming up will have a chance to do so at the reception at 4 o'clock. So thank you, Melinda.